All-ins, action, fast-paced, that's what we got in today's video. We go from New Jersey to California for my first meetup game ever. I had an absolute blast. I can't wait to show you guys the footage. We get it all in 20 times, yes, 20 times, against the same opponent playing every hand out to get me. I just can't wait to show it to you guys. Let's get right into today's video. Alright everyone, welcome back. I am so excited to show you guys this episode. It was absolutely insane. The blinds are actually 2-3, which is a very weird structure that I've never played. It's actually a $100 to a $500 buy-in, but we quickly made it match the stack, and it was honestly playing more like a 5-10, so just strap in. For this hand, we look down at ace-jack offsuit. Under the gun opens to 12, and there's one caller. The one caller is the guy who literally called every single one of my raises, and we got into a million hands, so I decided to 3-bet this up to $40, and I'm happy to see the original raiser folds, and that guy makes the call. So we're going heads up to a beautiful board, flopping top pair, top kicker. I am never going to slow play against this guy, so I decided to bet out for $25, and he pretty quickly makes the call. Going to a turn, it's only a little gross if he has jack 10, so I continue betting for $35, and once again, he makes the call. So we're going to a river, and against most players, I might bet smaller or even decide to have a little bit of a nitty check here, as there's a lot of hands that beat us, and he snap called us on 2 streets. But against him, I'm going for some value. I bet $100, and he snap calls, which usually means that we're beat, but he shows just a 10, so we flip over the winner, and nice to scoop in this one. Don't worry, we battle him so many more times, and by so many, I mean literally like 30. I've never seen anything like this. Alright, if it's my meetup game, you know we are gambling. So every dealer change, we are doing a double board PLO bomb pot. We were switching between $5 and $10. Didn't really matter because everyone was getting it all in every single time anyways. So this time it was $10, but then later in the night we decided to just do 5 anyways because it was crazy. But we look down at aces and one single suit, and if you look at the board, we've got the nut flush draw. If anyone has a 2, obviously on the other board we're screwed, but we're very live on the other board, so I decided to bet out for $25. The next 2 players call, and then my nemesis decides to raise to $125, so I don't know what he's got. He could just have 2 pair on the one board, and you know, aces are good on the board with the 2s, so I'm trying to isolate. I just decided to say, you know what, F it, we're short, we just bought in, everyone has like $400. I am happy to gamble. I mean, I am the goddamn host, so might as well gamble, give some money to those that came out to support me. And now the player to my left basically snap calls, so that's not good, and the next player folds. So we're going to a turn and a river, 3 ways, all in. I don't know what I want to see, but we whiff the board with the hearts, and there is no ace on the board with the 2. So there's a very good chance that we are going to get scooped and those players are going to chop up my money, but when the hands are showed, the other 2 players were fighting for the bottom board with the 2, and aces are good on the top board. Are you kidding me? This is awesome. I decided to gamble. Definitely didn't play it the right way, but we win some money here. We chop up my nemesis's money. Me and my new friend Cairo, who runs the weekend games here, he's the boy. He's so funny. He knows my nemesis, and he goes, somebody get him some chips.
With the ace, I got it in bad. Somebody get him chips. Baba Yaga chips.
They call my enemy Baba Yaga, by the way. Not sure what that means. I then proceed to open ace-7 of clubs to 15, and surprise, my nemesis makes the call. We flop an ace, decide to c-bet after he checks, and he decides to make the call. Turn looks alright, and he checks again. I want to bet big, targeting a heart if he's calling me with that, so I bet $55, and he snap calls, and the river is the 4th heart, which is disgusting, so I check, and he checks back, fully expecting him to have a heart, but he just shows a 9, and the ace is good. Like I said, this guy's after me. He might get me. We play some crazy hands. Stay tuned. Okay, now that I've shown you guys Baba Yaga and what he can do and why he's against me, it leads into this hand when we have pocket aces, and I have set this up perfectly. I've been raising like every single hand, like queen 8 suited, king 8 suited, all of these hands, and now we actually have aces, and under the gun opens to $15, so I 3-bet to 60, and Baba Yaga cold calls the 60 like he does every single time I raise, and now under the gun realizes this situation. He's a good player. I've been loose, Baba Yaga's been loose. This is the perfect time for him to squeeze squeeze and put in a massive 4-bet, and that's exactly what he does. He 4-bets to $190, and when it's back on me, I am licking my lips. Like I said, we were doing match the stack, so Under the Gun had about $600, and I have way more than that. I have like $850 here, and Baba Yaga had about $500. So there's a lot of money to be made here, but I don't want to jam. Like I said, we are super shallow, so it will be extremely easy to get the money in on any single board, as all of us will have just pot behind. So I am licking my lips. I decide to Hollywood, think for a little bit, and decide to make the call. And now Baba Yaga snap calls as well. So he went from cold calling a 3-bet to now cold calling a 4-bet. I have no idea what both of these players have. I am praying for a good board. I don't really know what I want to see. I don't really want to see a king because I do think Under the Gun might have pocket kings, and we see the most beautiful board ever, 10-4-7. I can't ask for a better board with a flush draw out there, but it gets even better as Baba Yaga does all the work for us. He decides to just lead jam. He puts his rack in the middle. He was getting chips so constantly that he didn't even take them out of the rack. Now I'm thinking Under the Gun's gonna call. We're obviously gonna call. He's gonna have an overpair. Baba Yaga's probably gonna have a flush draw. I mean, he could have a monster draw. He could have like 8-9 of diamonds. Who knows what he's got here. But Under the Gun decides to fold, and obviously I was just like, yep, there's no way I'm folding. I decide to make the call. The run out comes, and he says 2 pair, and my heart sinks. So I'm thinking, he just has Jack 10, and he sucked out on me.
Oh my God.
Oh, 10-4?
Oh my God, wow.
Alright, I guess we're behind.
Nope, he has 10-4. 10-4. Should I say it again? 10-4. What the heck? But listen, it's my meetup game. I'm having a good time. I'm happy to give action, and like I said, these players are going to win some pots. You can't get pissed. You can't deter them. I just say, you know what? Nice hand, Baba Yaga, and we're on to the next one. Alright, time to get back at this Nah, I'm kidding. No hard feelings. Seriously, it's fun. It's a game. It's whatever. It's my meetup game. Ace 10 offsuit, I raised to $15 at Baba Yaga, and my man Branson Poker, who is now at the table, makes the call, going to a beautiful flop. Nah, I'm kidding. 2-2-7. I mean, not the worst. They check it to me. I decide to check back. On the 8th turn, Baba Yaga leads out for 30. Branson thinks for a little while and decides to call. And honestly, I feel like both of my cards are good here and I'll get paid. So I decide to make the call. And boom, that's exactly what happens. The 10 on the river. They now check to me. I obviously could be value owning myself against a full house. At 2, he's very capable, but you'll just see why in a second here. I bet out for $100, and Baba Yaga pretty quickly makes the call. His fold button is broken, out the window, tossed. I show the ace 10, and he looks disgusted. Guess he had an 8 or a 9. Like I said, my over was not only good, but I'd get paid, so the odds are there. And we scoop in this one, and climbing back towards even. Let's go. Time for some sweet, sweet revenge, baby. We look down at ace jack suited and open it up to $15, and now Baba Yaga 3-bets me to $40. And all jokes aside, it's actually a little bit concerning when people like this just call, and then, ooh, they randomly 3-bet you. And like I said, he basically min-clicked it back, so obviously we're not going anywhere. And boom, I have to rub my eyes. There is nothing to get worried about now as we flop the absolute stone cold nuts, the nut flush.
You just flop a flush on me?
No, I need one more card.
You need another one? Oh, okay. I guess I'll call you then.
Next one will be all in.
Next hand will be all in.
Okay.
Alright, I guess we'll see what the turn is.
I check it over to him, and he decides to overbet the pot to $120. This is just an absolute dream come true. We're not raising. We are going to Hollywood, think about it for a little bit, and decide to put in the call. Just praying for no board pair, even though it's just wouldn't be scary because I just don't think he's going to have a full house. And we see a really good turn of a king. If he had ace king, pocket kings, he's going to obviously love this card. So I check it to him, and now once again he overbets the pot $300. Oh my goodness. What do you do when someone is just going crazy like this? Should we raise? Should we go all in? We have a massive stack here as I kept adding on to just have as much money as I can on the table to match his stack for situations exactly like this. But after a little while, I decided to just flick in the call. We're going to a river. Now I'm really praying for no board pair, and it looks clean again. Not only is it clean, but there's no fourth diamond, so the only hands that he should be scared of is if I just flop the flush like this. So once again, I set the trap, check it over to him, and he bets $300 once again. I was praying that he would just go all in and do the work for me, because it might be a little bit tough to get max value here, because I was talking to somebody on the table after the hand. It's weird when you're in spots like this. I had about $1,200 in my stack at this point, and he bet $300. So a jam is a bit of an over bet, not quite. I mean, it's only 4x. Say we were unlimited money deep, I would probably raise this to like 700-ish to try to just guarantee I get paid, but that looks extremely strong if I raise and leave just a little bit of money behind. He was crazy, but he's not stupid. He's going to know that, you know, I'm basically just jamming the nut flush, the second nut flush, and that's just about it. I'm really not going to be jamming much else, but I do decide to go all in, and he grabs his rack in his hand and looks like he's about to snap call, but he waits for a second, he takes it back, he asks for a count. I say it's about, $1,200, and he looks disgusted. And after a long time, he decides to fold. Oh my goodness. He claims he had a lower flush. There's just no way. He mucked his hand. He didn't show it. If you go back in the video and look a little bit, it looks like he had a 6. I'm not sure what you guys see there, but we win a massive pot. We're finally out of the hole. We're up like $400. I hope that felt just as good for you guys as it did for me, and I hope you guys can feel the feeling of just dragging in all these chips. It's the best feeling in poker, and let's head to the next hand. We've built a massive chip stack, and even our good friend Branson gets into it with him, where he had a straight and Branson had a flush. Branson wins some money. Baba Yaga is not going anywhere. He's reloading for thousands, and he's about to play some crazy hands against us. Alright, now we look down at Ace King. I mean, the premiums aren't really working for us today, but let's try it. There's a $6 straddle on, so I decide to open it up to $25, and oh my goodness, Baba Yaga calls. He literally never does that. It's very crazy. He's playing such a tight range, so I have to be careful for him. And now the straddler cuts out some chips and decides to put in a 3-bet here to $100. And I have some thoughts going through my mind here, as this player has about $350 left behind, and obviously we still have Baba Yaga behind us. So if we flat call, Baba Yaga is 100% calling, and we're going 3 ways, middle position with Ace King offsuit. Just not a situation that I really want to be in. I think a lot of the times we're just going to be torching $100 if we don't hit an ace or a king. So like I said, I'm ready to gamble, ready to get it in. I decide to go all in, and Baba Yaga asks for a count, and he looks like he actually might call, and I'm like, okay, you know what, if he calls and the other guy folds, fine. I'll flip against Queen Jack suited, King Queen, hands like that.
930, probably like 960, yeah.
Oh shit, man, I'm not gonna beat him.
He literally was contemplating this, and I was like, oh my goodness, please call. I'll flip. It'll be great for the vlog. He literally thinks for like a minute and a half in real time. But he decides to fold, and now the straddler thinks for a little while and decides to fold ace queen offsuit face up. Oh, I wish he would have just called and tried to gamble, thinking I maybe had 10s or jacks and we got the double up, but it's alright. You can't complain taking $125 down pre-flop with ace king any day of the week. Alright, this might come as a surprise to you guys, but Baba Yaga is not in this hand. Yeah, one hand without him in it. We raised 10s to $20, and just my boy on the button, Monster Stack Wizard, who's been in my Discord and followed me for a long time, came out. Shout out to him. So just me and him are going to a board of Jack 8-7. We flop a gutter and second pair. Not the best, but not the worst. And these hands, when you have a high pocket pair and there's a higher card out there, it's super weird to play, but I decided to c-bet for $20 and he makes the call. So we're going to a turn. It looks pretty good. The flush draw doesn't come in. We still have second pair, still have our gutter. So I bet $40 now, just trying to get some value from flush draws, maybe a non-believing 8 or 7, and he makes the call. And on the ace river, it's very gross because I know the flush draw does not come in, but if he had the ace high flush draw, he now makes top pair. And I don't really want to check, let him bluff, so I just continue for a blocker size here of $20, and he flicks in the call showing Jack 10 of hearts. He was not going anywhere on the flop or the turn, and then obviously I gave him a great price. I played this hand so bad, but whatever. On to the next hand, and surprise, Baba Yaga is in the next one. Alright, strap in because this hand is just completely off the rails. We decided to open up ace queen offsuit to $20, get 2 callers, the player to my left and Baba Yaga. Branson decides to capitalize on this, on everyone's loose play. He 3-bets it to $100. I'm done folding these. I flick in the call, and so does Baba Yaga. What a shock, I know, right? And we go 3 ways to a flop of 3, 4, 6. Super interesting. I decide to check, and Baba Yaga hits us with his classic shove the rack in the middle, and it looks like it's around $220-ish. So I'm like, okay, Branson's obviously gonna call, even if he has like, you know, ace king, whatever he's probably flipping. He's just gonna flick it in, but he folds. Okay, so when Branson folds, it's actually not that good because I think he's going to have a lot of ace-king himself, which obviously blocks one of my outs if I were to call, because obviously he's never folding his kings, aces, queens, jacks, tens, 9s, 8s, 7s, like none of those hands. I mean, maybe Branson was going crazy with a little 3-bet with 9-10 suited, jack-10 suited, and he's folding. But when it's back to me, you know, I think about what Baba Yaga has done today. You guys see he's had, you know, 10-4. He's had all these crazy hands calling me with third pair and everything. I think it's very reasonable. He could be jamming like ace-5 suited. He could be jamming like 10-5 suited. All these hands that are just an open-ended straight draw, which we are actually ahead of. And I think at the very worst here, I mean, well, this is best case scenario. If I make the call, he's just going to have top pair, like 10-6. He obviously loves his 10s. He could have like jack-6, stuff like that, to which we're flipping. We don't have too much equity, but we've got some equity. There's a lot of money in the middle there. Me and him have been going back and forth. Like I said, it's my meetup game. I am the damn host. I'm happy to give some action back and forth. So I say, you know what? Screw it, Baba Yaga. Let's gamble. You've given me plenty of action. I'll give you some back. I think you guys can respect that. It's obviously extremely and singly player dependent if Branson jammed or if anybody else jammed. Snap fold, snap fold, snap fold. But like I said, happy to give him some action. So I make the call looking to see an ace or a queen, and no. And yep, that's exactly what happens. Baba Yaga shows over king 6. Okay. But like I said, I'm happy to give some action back. We're going to go back and forth. And actually, as you guys see the time at the top, this was only hours into the meetup game. Super crazy. I played for another 4 hours. I got so much content. This would have been a 40-minute video, so I'm cutting it right here. You guys have to stay tuned for part 2. Me and Baba Yaga play a $4,000 pot. It will come next week. Sorry to hold you guys, but thank you guys for watching my first meetup game ever, and part 2 next Wednesday, 4:45 Eastern. Thank you guys. Peace out.